So we are using a Rowin Greenizer pedal, which is basically your Tube Screamer kind of clone. And then we are using to battle, if you will, the actual Ibanez Tube Screamer. Which version of this Tube Screamer is this, Dave?
This is... I have no idea.
Well, let's have a look. Hang on.
Ibanez TS9 Tube Screamer. What does that mean?
I don't know.
I'm not the connoisseur of tube screamers.
It is a Tube Screamer of some kind.
It's a tube
It's an
screamer.
older one. I'm guessing the 80s, 90s?
I bought this one, actually, I can remember this brand new in probably about the mid-2000s.
Oh, okay. Cool,
Yeah,
cool.
around 2004, 5.
And this is a newish Rowin Greenizer. I want to say probably 2018 is probably the vintage of this pedal.
Yeah.
So,
Vintage 2018.
It's a vintage 2018, Dave.
Awesome.
Okay, alright, so we've set both pedals to roughly the same setting, so you can kind of hear that they're, you know, kind of doing the same thing. And you can compare the tonal qualities of the Greenizer by Rowin and the original Tube Screamer, which it is modeled after, obviously. And anything else about the pedals, Dave?
You know, like you said, this
We're
is
using
mid-2000s, I believe.
Yeah, and we're using just
Tube
regular, just power supplies, no batteries on that. Which I don't know if that some guys swear that that's a thing.
You know, many people know more about it than I do.
Yeah, and
but
yeah, and then just running into what's the amp?
A PV Classic 50.
PV Classic 50.
Mid-2000s
Yeah,
as well.
2000s ish.
Somewhere around there.
Yep,
Clean
yep.
sound.
Clean. There we go.
Is that too loud?
A little bit, but that's okay.
I can turn it down if we want.
Well,
it's okay.
Yeah, we're fine.
So, should we start with the Rowin Greenizer?
Yep, let's green it.
Here it is. Sounds like a Tube Screamer.
Yep, it does. Very Tube Screamery.
And the actual Tube Screamer. That was a bad chord.
Oh boy, I loved
They sound
it.
exactly the same.
Yeah.
Do they to you where you're sitting?
I'm not hearing anything different. It seems like, from my experience when I've used this pedal at home, it seems like the Rowin is a little gainier.
Oh, well, we will try that out.
But I mean, that's just you know.
I did. The only thing that really is noticeable is that the volume of the Greenizer is up a little over half.
Yep.
And I'm a little over a quarter of the way up on the actual Tube Screamer.
On the actual vintage.
So the
Tube
vintage
Screamer.
mid-2000s vintage.
That's right.
So that would be the difference, the level. And maybe you can hear if I turn the level of the Tube Screamer, the Ibanez, up the same amount as the Rowin. I don't know if they can tell that in the video, but
it's definitely louder. It's not like crazy dB louder.
No.
But it's definitely louder.
Definitely louder. But the tone and all that stuff is set up exactly the same.
Oh, you've got everything set up the same?
Yep.
Oh,
so
cool.
everything, the tone, everything is pretty much right in the middle.
Wow.
Like I said, other than the volume.
Wow.
So the tone and the drive, or gain, I guess it's called, is that actually it's called gain on the Greenizer and drive on the Ibanez.
Wow.
I know. Maybe that affects the tone.
I think it does. I think it's the difference in wordage.
Right. I'm
perhaps.
sure that's what it is.
Just for my amusement, dime out the distortion on both of those.
Ah, yes.
And then we can kind of see. Because, I mean, at this level, which is about, you're not going to use a whole lot less on a Tube Screamer unless, well, why would you be using a Tube Screamer?
That's a good point.
But I'm curious how they both do kind of dimed out.
Ah, well,
so
let's find out.
We're using the Rowin right now.
The Rowin with gain all the way. And here's the Ibanez.
The Rowin's definitely gainier.
I think so too. You can kind of feel it when you play it.
Yeah. And maybe that's kind of where... Here, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. That one seems a little... This one seems a little... Almost yeah.
A little looser.
Looser, yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
a little looser, Dave.
Depending what your flavor is. You know. And if you
Yeah.
put them both on.
That's the tone.
good.
Actually, that sounds pretty damn good.
That actually sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, that's not a bad tone.
So,
And I think maybe that's kind of where the volume evens out, perhaps,
yeah,
is that that's hotter,
I bet.
possibly.
I bet you're right.
I mean, I'm no engineer. I mean, I play one in the tool shed. But legally, no, I am not.
No.
But I mean, I don't know, which one do you like better? I think
Well,
they're both kind of cool. Like this one's hotter. This one's got more sag to it.
I think so too. That would.
I mean, so it kind of all depends on your preference. But I mean, if you're looking at the price difference, what'd you pay for the Greenie?
God, I don't remember. What do those go for now?
They're like $100. Yeah, I want to say like 109 or something weird like that. Compared to the Rowin, which I think new is like what 36.
36.
Which is crazy. Like
so
you know,
you're 30ish versus 100.
Right.
You know?
Well, when I was out at NAMM this last year, I had this kid come up. Hopefully he watches this video and he can confirm this. But he was like, I've got $150 and I need to set up my pedal board.
It's like you've come to the right place.
And you can do that with the Rowin MIDI stuff because they're all cheap and they're all good. But yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't know. I mean, there's no like obvious, like if you were to go like, oh, that's clearly $100 better. No.
No.
Not even close.
In fact, on a blindfold test, I would have no idea which one is the Rowin and which one's the Ibanez. I'd have no.
Yeah,
I
like me sitting right here. Literally, the only thing I can tell is if we did the blindfold thing. One of them is a smidge hotter.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yep.
And that's really because you got the tone set the same too, don't you?
Yeah, everything's exactly the same. And just for the heck of it, what I'll do is just real quick go through the pickups,
do it.
Just to kind of maybe the same. That's just bridge pickup. Then if I go to
back to the Rowin,
the second position, they're all they all sound about.
I mean, you got the same basic tonality there.
Right. I mean,
it's not like it's not like you're listening to it like on the one side you got like a nice tube screamer, and the other side like a horrific crackling tone zone.
No.
I mean, what metal zone, tone zone? Wow.
Right. It's like in this position. Okay. Whoops.
Oh boy. I should have velcroed that down.
Yes, it's all good. But you can
flop
really
it all
tell,
over
though.
the place.
You can really.
It's flopping.
You can really hear how that's definitely hotter than.
Oh yeah, yeah, that definitely has more. Now is that an output thing or a gain thing? Is it gain?
Question.
Because I mean, it seems.
That's a good question.
Is it louder or is it gainier?
See, the volume's up higher, just so for the heck of it. Sorry. So let's say if we go to this one, but I'm going to turn. It'll be louder.
Yeah.
Let's just run it harder.
Yeah, have at it. Run it harder, Dave.
That makes up for some of it. I still think that's maybe a little.
Yeah, that's definitely hotter.
Because that's. Yeah, it's definitely obviously the level is going to drive it a little harder, but.
Because I noticed that when I tried, because I was trying to put my pedal board together, and I had the Greenizer and a couple of their other overdrives, and I noticed this one definitely was hotter.
Yeah. Yep.
And not that that's a bad thing. It was,
No.
but it definitely was a hotter pedal. I can't remember which one. I think it was one of the overdrive ones. I think it's the gold one I've got on my board now.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is.
I think they're, like I said, other than the volume difference, they're very similar. This one, the Rowin is definitely gainier.
Yeah.
And the volume is. Because we were running the Ibanez originally a lot lower at the level than we're the Rowin. So when you turn the level up on the Ibanez, it starts making up a little bit for that gain, but still not there. So
it's not the gain more so than the volume.
Right. It's definitely, that's really cool. I think
and the nice thing that the Greenizer has over the Tube Screamer is it also has a boost, where you can switch off of the gain and go to like an actual. I want to say you can take all the gain off and just have like a nice clean boost too, right?
Let's try that one. So if this is on, I gotta switch that.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That's nice.
That's a nice
That's
boost
actually got
too.
an extra feature that
That's a nice boost.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like them both for their own. Like I said, this one's a little clean. It's almost like when you get into the cleaner or the gainier thing. It's like the Rowin will do everything that this does.
Yeah.
Plus more.
Yeah, with
I mean,
with the
you
boost.
can,
Yeah.
If you want this one to get as gainy as the Rowin, it won't.
It won't. Yeah.
You know. So you got the boost feature on this, and you can also back. You know, obviously you can back the gain off on this.
Yeah.
To give it. You know, if you don't want that hotter sound like what this one is.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean,
like,
and I suppose it all depends on what you're using the Tube Screamer for too. I mean, if you want a Tube Screamer to just like a push, you're not going to need the gain and whatever. But I mean, if you want it to do all that stuff, it totally does. That's kind of cool though.
Man.
So I've never really used the boost on this before because I pretty much just used it as like a traditional Tube Screamer.
Right.
So that's see, and it's kind of cool to try it with a proper. Because you could sit there and go, it's supposed to be a Tube Screamer. But, how do you know? You can kind of get in the ballpark, but unless you run it right next to a proper Tube Screamer.
Mm-hmm.
And what is this, any special edition?
No, I think it was just whatever at the time, the generic,
And to clarify, this is not a sound tank.
Yes, very true.
Which I had a sound tank Tube Screamer, and I don't know if it sounded better or worse, but I know it looked like a tank.
Ah.
So I don't know.
You didn't like that?
Well, I didn't say I didn't like it. It's just,
That's
some
right.
people like their pedals to look like a tank.
Right, I
And,
guess, apparently.
And apparently I'm one of those dudes.